In this video, we're going to publish Laravel sale config files and customize them. We're going to also refactor and improve attachment validation part and add new validation rules. First of all, let's commit the changes, what we made so far. We have implemented the displaying the validation errors on attachments, and we have this test.svg file which I just downloaded for the testing purposes, so I'm going to delete this file. I'm not going to commit that. And in this handle inertia requests, we have passed the attachment extensions. We want to commit this. In the stored post request, we have created this static extensions property and customized the message, which we need this. And in the create post, we just remove the console log. Let's include this. In the post item, we have prevented the event. That's something we need to include. And the main thing in the post model, we have just implemented the displaying the validation errors on attachments. Okay, we want all that. So I'm going to commit this display proper validation errors on attachments. Okay, so we have committed this, and now I'm going to customize the number of supported uploaded files and the max file size using php.ini. Okay, we are using Docker, and as far as I know, and I have done this before, there is possibility to generate custom php.ini. So we don't have any php.ini at the moment inside the project, so we don't know how to change that. In order, actually, let me try to make this very clear. So in the index.php, which is the entry script, I'm going to just echo php info, and then I'm going to exit. Okay, and right now, if we open our application, we see the following screen. Okay, and let's search for max file uploads, which is set to 20. Okay, and we also have max file size, upload max file size, which is set to 100 megabytes. Okay, but if we have a look in the validation, like store post request, here we have these validation rules, and we allow maximum 50 files, and we also allow maximum 500 megabytes. And right now, if I try to upload one file which is 500 megabyte, it's not going to work, simply because we have this limit set to 100 megabyte, which is the default value inside our Laravel application, which is running using Laravel sale. Okay, this is what we're going to customize. And I'm going to open now Laravel sale documentation. Let's search for sale. And there's way, I remember, to customize this, customization. And this is the way how we're going to do this. Okay, as far as I know, since sale is in Docker, you're free to customize nearly everything about it. Yes, exactly. So let me actually copy this, and we're going to execute that in my container. Sale artisan. Okay, we're going to execute vendor bean sale artisan. What's that? Docker is not running. Hold on. Actually, okay, let me explain. We are already inside the container. Because we are in the container, we're going to execute php artisan sale publish. Okay. However, and this is going to work. Actually, not this, but the php artisan sale publish. This will work. Let's actually try this. I'm just going to copy and paste and hit the enter. You see, it generated something, and I'm going to go in the comment section, which will show me all the changes, all the new files that is there. And look at this. So this index.php is changed by me. In the Docker Compose YML, the context has been changed. Few other things have been changed probably as well, like the volumes have been changed, and we have now new files. We have these files for PHP 8.0. We have this for 8.1 and 8.2 and 8.3 as well, by the way. But I think we are running this on 8.2 at the moment. So we can have a look here inside this 8.2, and we can see that we have this Docker file, which is the Docker file using which we are building, but it is built the container inside which our application is running. Okay, we can customize this if we want. We have this php.ini, and this is the exact place inside which we're going to change. And as you see here, we have this upload max file size and post max size as well. Okay, this is the place we need to customize. And we have the start container command as well, and we have the supervisor.conf file, and we also have this MySQL script which creates the database if it's not existing, and yeah, everything basically. So we have this possibility to customize it. However, let me actually just check out all the things. So I'm going to set the git checkout dot, and I'm going to also remove all the new files using git clean -fd. The Docker have been removed. There's nothing inside. Okay, and if we want to execute the same command, this php artisan sail publish command from outside, we are going to do this through vendor bin sail artisan sail publish. This is how we're going to do, and it has been published, and here we see the same things. Okay, let's clear this out, and yeah, we can clear this as well. Now I'm going to open this index.php, and I'm going to undo this change. I'm going to return this php info here, and we see this again. And now I'm going to open php 8.2 php.ini. This is the file here under Docker. This new Docker folder has been added. Okay, and we have this upload max file size to be 100 megabytes. I'm going to set this into, well, we are allowing maximum 50 files, but each file can be 500 megabytes. So that's a huge size totally. So 50 times 500 megabytes, that's going to be 25 gigabytes. Yeah, it's going to be like 25, and with 30, so many megabytes. And total is going to be 25 megabytes. So this is huge. I don't want to allow that huge size of payload. So I'm thinking how to solve this problem. So first of all, I want to allow to upload large files, like about 500 megabyte files. If they want to upload some zip and share this to others so that they can download. But I don't want to allow that many 500 megabyte files. So maybe we can set, if it's possible, that we can allow maximum 50 files. Each file can be maximum 500 megabytes, but the total size of the attachments not to be more than 1 gigabyte or more than 2 gigabytes. Is it possible to do this? I am not sure, to be honest. Let me ask ChatGPT. In Laravel, I want to allow uploading of 50 files, and each file can be maximum of 500 megabyte, but totally all files should not be more than 1 gigabyte. How to do that inside validation rules? Let's see if there is some solution, if ChatGPT knows about this. Okay, so we have files. Okay, max size is in kilobytes. Okay, this is good. Then inside the files we have the array, we have the maximum of 15, which we already have here, and we have the dimensions, max width and max height. This is optional. Add dimension rules if you want to restrict image dimensions. Okay, this is something we don't care. But is this what we're looking for? I think this is what we're looking for. So we're going to write a custom validation function which will go through all the values, all the attachments, calculate the size, total size of all of them, and if all of them are more than 1 GB, then we can fail with this error. Okay, thank you, ChatGPT. I like your answer. So this is basically, I was thinking maybe if there was some easier solution in Laravel, if we could have like total size of rule or something like this, but if it's available, ChatGPT doesn't know about this, and I also don't know about this, to be honest. So I think this is going to work. So in this case, I just need this function. I'm going to get this function, and again, I'm going to explain this. This string, I'm going to change this into an array. So we're going to have one rule, it's going to be array. Second rule, it's going to be maximum 50. And the third rule will be that function. And I'm going to move this now, each rule on its own line, like this. And here's the function. Let's format the code. We have the attribute and value. Value in this case will be an array of attachments. When we call collect on this, we are just converting our array into a collection. Okay, and then on the collection we have the sum function, which accepts a callback, and each argument of this function basically is an instance of uploaded file. So we can then on the uploaded file we're calling this get size, and we can also provide right here uploaded file. So this file is an instance of uploaded file, and then on the file we can see that it has this get size function. We can also change this into an arrow function and just write this on a single line like this, and we can remove this return, and we can remove this curly brace as well. So it's that simple. We convert into a collection, then call sum on this, and we sum all the total sizes, and that's good. I want to debug this if this works correctly. So I'm going to set this total size. I'm just going to print this total size right here in my validation rule. Now let's go on the front end and let's comment out this part. I will uncomment this later. I need to relog in, and let's upload few files. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to upload, I think I will upload some videos. Okay, let's go into details. I'm curious to see the size. I'm going to upload this one and these two. So there should be totally more than 200 megabytes. Let's click on open, and I'm going to open the developer tools as well. And I'm going to click on submit. It is uploading. We see this progress indicator here. And then we have this post to large exception. Well, this is actually correct. The total size right now is 100 megabyte, and we got this post too large. Let me remove them and upload. I just want to test if the calculation works correctly. So let's upload two small files. Totally, it should be 46, roughly 47 megabytes. So let's hit on submit. And we see this 48, and that's going to be 48 megabytes. So the calculate and total size works actually successfully and perfectly. And then we're going to check if the total size is more than 1 gigabyte. We're going to fail with the following error, which is awesome. Now, the only thing is just to make sure that we allow 1 gigabyte post size right here. So let's change this. Post max size is just 1 gigabyte. 1 GB, and upload max file size will be 1 GB as well. And we are going to also change the max file uploads. Let's print this PHP info. Max file uploads, which is set to 20. Okay, I'm gonna set this into 50. I'm allowing 50 files at a time. So now whenever I save this, I need to rebuild my Docker image. And here's this, sail build no cache. So I'm gonna copy this command, but I have to stop my container. Okay, so I'm gonna exit from the container and I'm gonna execute vendor bean sail stop. It is gonna stop it. Let's clear this, and then I'm gonna execute vendor bean sail build without any cache. It's gonna take some time to rebuild it. Not sure exactly how much time it's gonna take, but probably it will take several minutes. So I will just pause the recording and continue when this is finished. Okay, this is completed and it has been working around 8 minutes. Right here we see 500 seconds, and it just created a new build which includes this new php.ini file. Now I'm going to execute vendor bean sail up-d. Now let's go inside the container, vendor bean sail bash, and let's start divide server npm run dev. Let's go in the browser, reload the page, and we see it is up and running. And let's search for max file, and we see that the max file uploads is now set to 50. And let's search for max file size. Upload max file size, which is set to 1 GB. And there is another property, post max size, which is also set to 1 GB. So our changes written right here is perfectly taken and used in our application. Now I will open this index.php and I'm going to close this. Okay, I'm going to collapse the left side. Then we can try to upload larger files. So I'm going to go into attach files and I'm going to upload file with like this is a 200 MB file. This is going to be one. This is 800 MB file. Okay, I'm going to just upload this one 800 MB file. Okay, I'm going to click just one file, nothing else. And I'm going to click open and then click on submit. It's going to take some time. We're uploading locally, so it's going to take not that much time. So this should be uploaded. So this is how it should work. We have one 800 MB file. No, actually, we're going to see the validation errors, right? Because, yeah, we're going to see the validation errors. Okay, let's see. We have this post too large exception. Okay, we should not have these because our post is not 1 GB, right? We should not have this. If we print this again, click on submit in the preview, post max size is set to 1 GB. Okay, but the image we have chosen is not, the video we have chosen is not that large. Now let's choose another one which is 200 MB. Click open. Let's remove this and then click on submit. post too large exception. Okay, this is weird. This is coming from the Laravel's core. Post too large exception. Okay, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if he knows about this. So I increased post max size a variable up to 1 gigabyte. But when I upload, what's the variable name? Post max size. This is correct. Yeah. I increased the post max size upload variable up to 1 gigabyte, and I also increased upload max file size up to 1 gigabyte. But when I upload a single file in Laravel with 800 megabyte size, I get Laravel's post too large exception. Okay, let's see. Even if you increase post, look at this. Even if you increase post max size and upload max file size in your PHP configuration, Laravel has its own file size limit settings that you need to consider. Laravel has a configuration option called upload max file size in the config upload PHP. By default, Laravel has set 2 megabyte. Is that so? Open config upload PHP. Let's go to config upload. That does not exist. That does not exist. Let me search for this upload max file size if it's available somewhere in my project. It's available only inside php.ini files. This is not mentioned anywhere. Okay. There is no upload PHP file in my config folder. Okay. So now it tells me to do the exact same thing I have already done. Post max size 1 gigabyte, upload max file size 1 gigabyte. Save changes and restart your web server. Okay, I have followed the method first, but I still get the same error. Yeah, I did everything. I have stopped the container, restarted that, we see the new values. But that doesn't seem to be working in my case. What am I doing wrong? That post too large exception is coming from the Laravel core. Okay, it seems like the ChatGPT is not helpful in this specific case. So I'm going to search for this post too large exception, Laravel, and we're going to see what are the possible reasons for that. Yeah, everyone is talking about uploading this. What is this memory limit? Okay, maybe this memory limit is something that needs to be increased. We have increased post max size, upload max file size, and memory limit. Let's actually print what is the current value of memory limit. -1, which probably means that it is unlimited. Post max size. Okay, I'm going to search for this post too large exception Laravel sale. Maybe there is something specific in sale. Okay, can we upload relatively smaller files? Like how large files we can upload after we made the change? Let's upload 28 megabyte file. Okay. Now we have this issue, post too large exception on even 28 megabyte. What does this mean? 7 megabyte file. Let's delete this. Let's delete both. Let's upload just one picture. Okay, I always get this post too large exception, and that explains something. I probably misconfigured, and instead of gigabyte we should probably have megabytes. So I'll provide here 1024 megabyte, or wait, it should be just M. Hold on. It should be just M. Probably I should have just specified just G without B. I think that was the reason. Let's just remove this B from here and here, and I'm going to rebuild my image. It will take much less time in this case because we have because it has already downloaded all the dependencies it needed. Okay, in previous build, that was what took a lot of time. Let's stop our container. I got a good lesson if this is the issue. I'm spending some time, but we are also together learning something new. I'm going to make a build. Where's my build command? Yeah, build without cache. Okay, the fourth one is what took a lot of time. Hopefully it's not going to take that much time in this case, but still, anyway, I'm going to pause the recording and continue when this is completed. The image was built, and we're going to start the server again. Vendor bin sale bash npm run dev. Let's reload the page. Okay, let's try to upload smaller files first. Okay, that was uploaded. Now let's upload large files. Let's upload this 155 megabyte file. Okay, we got some errors. We got invalid file. Okay, there must be some reason why this file is invalid. Let's check the store post request. It was file, we had these extensions, and we had mp4 there. And we have this maximum as well. It's also not very clear right now what's the reason we get these invalid files. Did we get this because the uploaded file was not a file, or because the types didn't match, or there was some issue with the mux? So can we get any kind of specific error? Okay, in this case, I'm just gonna try to debug this step by step. Okay, if it is a file, let's allow uploading that. So I'm gonna hit on submit. Now we get this invalid file. Let me comment out this custom message area and let's see what is the original error coming from the backend. The total size of the files must not exist to 1 gigabyte. It doesn't exist to 1 gigabyte, isn't it? What's the total size? So yeah, this is the issue. This is this code basically was given by ChatGPT, and I just copied and put this here. So here we need 3 more zeros basically, but we can do in the following way. The total size needs to be if the total size is more than 1 gigabyte, we're gonna show this error. So we're gonna do 1, which is 1 gigabyte, multiplied on 1024, and this multiplied on 1024. So if this 1024, the total size is basically calculated in bytes. So this is basically 1 kilobyte, and this is just 1 megabyte. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just multiply this on 1024 again, and this gives me 1 gigabyte size. So I'm gonna save this. Let's remove this part, and I'm gonna undo that part right here. So if I hit on submit, this worked. Okay, and now let's try to upload a large file, like 800 megabyte file, which was right here. Click open, click on submit. It's gonna take obviously some time, but hopefully it's gonna work. And we figured out a very, very important thing. Okay, that was uploaded. But if I try to upload a file which is more than 1 gigabyte, this file is about 5 gigabytes file. Also, the extension is not good, but even if we hit the submit button, we're gonna get this. So this is a 5 GB file. It's gonna be transferred to the server, but we're gonna get this error that the size is not. It's too large size, or we're gonna get the invalid file. This is something which can be improved in the future. We're just returning invalid file, but if the size is too large, maybe we just need to return the error that this file size is too large. Do we have a video which is 1 GB, or do I have any kind of zip which is 1 GB? If I sort this by type, I think I don't have 1 GB zip. No. Anyway, I'm confident right now that this is going to work. And if we upload 1 GB or more than 1 GB file, it's going to return with the following error from here. And even if we upload the total size, this is good. This is something we can test. If we upload, if we go in the videos and upload the large files like this one and another 100 MB file, 200 MB file, another 200 MB file, and 800 MB. So totally this is definitely more than 100 MB. I'm going to even remove this and this and this. So we have two files selected, 200 MB and 800 MB. So together they are more than 1 GB. As soon as this is submitted on the server, we're going to get the following error. But again, I need to highlight that I'm going to uncomment this part, that the error returned from here basically is not quite correct. It is correct that we are saying that this is invalid file, but it's not quite descriptive. We need to probably say that what's the exact reason why we are receiving this invalid file error, whether the error is coming from invalid extensions or types, or whether this is coming from the size. Okay, this has been uploaded. Why was it? Okay, what's the total size right now? Total size, and let's just print the value. What are the attachments, actual attachments? I'm gonna try to do the same thing. .200 MB file, and where is this 800 MB? This is it. It is 10:26. Okay, let's open this and hit on submit. Meanwhile, let me try to find out in the Laravel documentation about validation rules, and if there is possibility to separately validate the types, available validation rules. We have this file. Okay, and I want size. Okay, this is a different size. It is the length of the title or the length of the array. But speaking about the file, so here we have this exact validation. So it is exactly 512 kilobytes, which is not exactly what we want. Let's go back. If we search for max, okay, the field under validation must be less than or equal to a maximum value. Strings numerics, arrays, and files are evaluated in the same fashion as the size rule. Okay, so in this case, we can use this max like we are using here, but on case of files, which is good idea, because right now we have this single rule for types and max. But if we create new rule here, I'm going to call this max of whatever is this, basically 500 multiplied on 1024 and multiplied on 1024, basically 500 megabyte. If we specify this and remove that, and this is actually file. And speaking about the file, we can just provide the MIME types or extensions. Let me search for extensions. Okay, so the difference between what we are doing here and the extensions is that this is actually checking the types based on the extensions as well. Okay. Okay. What I'm thinking right now is that I want to customize my error messages. First of all, let me see what error did we get, or what size did we get. That was, okay, there are totally 2 files. This is the size for the first one, and this is the size for the second one. Okay, if we just sum up those 2 file sizes, what are we going to get? We get this. If we just multiply 1024 times 1024 times 1024, okay, this is more. This is actually more. So we need to upload even larger file. Or we can simply change this into, instead of 1024, we can just change this into 1000 times on 1000 times on 1000, which is 1 billion actually. And this is going to work. And we should see the following error, which I really want to see that. So I'm going to remove this, and I will try to resubmit the same files, which should give us the following error. But I want also to make sure that I customize these errors properly. So if I scroll down below, we have these errors on attachments. But I'm going to provide max right here and just write text that the attachment size can't be more than 500 megabytes. The attachment size can't be more than 500 megabyte. This is good. And let's see the error first. We still get this invalid file. And I get this because one file is more than 800 megabytes. Actually, I can remove this. I'm going to make this very clear. So right now it seems like I'm struggling a little bit, and I'm struggling, but I want to also make this very clear. So I'm struggling in terms of how to display the proper validation errors, okay? To make this very clear to the user. There are different types of validation errors. First, we're going to have this total size. We have this maximum number of files, which is fine. We haven't get that validation error so far. That the attachments needs to be file, and that the file type needs to be one of those file types, and also the maximum file size. So I'm going to customize the error message for this maximum rule. And let me actually check this in the Laravel documentation to customize message. There should be a function for this. Error messages. So here are the parts of the validating files. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy this part and I'm going to ask ChatGPT about this specific thing. I have the following rule in my request class. For following rules, basically. I want custom error or custom validation messages for each rule. How to do that? Let's paste my code here and let's hit the enter. To add custom validation message for a rule in your Laravel form request class, you can define messages method. Okay. File, mimes, and max. This is exactly what I wanted. So this is for mimes. This is mimes rules basically. This is for max. This is exactly what I wanted. So let me get this and let me put this right here. Each attachment must be a file. Invalid file type for attachments, allowed types are, and this is good. Or we can just remove these allowed file types because we have this on the front-end side written. So I can get this. And each attachment must not exceed 500 megabytes. Now this is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted. Let's go and let's hit the submit button. We should get the proper validation error from the backend displayed even right here. Which attachment is more than 500 megabytes? Let's see. Okay, now we have this general error. The total size of all the files must not exceed 1 gigabyte. Okay, this is interesting. We got this on attachments, which we don't handle on the front-end side. Okay, let's go in the post modal. And after, let's search for submit part. And inside process errors, we just check that if the key includes dot, it means that we are doing this on each individual attachment. And then we are just putting this in the attachment errors. But there's else case as well. Okay. And the else case is if that key doesn't include a dot. So in else case, we should probably have different type of errors, which we don't have this defined. Const errors ref, and I'm going to make this object. And then in the else, I'm going to set my errors dot value equals, or we can simply set errors. Hold on. We have errors here and errors here as well. Let's call these form errors. Then I'm going to get these errors and assign into form errors dot value equals errors. And let's find, here we see the attachment errors. So basically I'm going to create one div right here, and let's add the if form errors dot attachments. If that exists, we are going to display this, and it's going to be form errors dot attachments. This is the error which we're going to display. And let's give it proper classes. So I'm going to copy the classes from the above one Just I'm going to make this red. So border, instead of amber, I'm just going to make it red, and let's save it. And I'm going to upload this one file, which is 800 megabyte. Click OK. Actually, I'm going to choose two files because we are handling this generic error for all the attachments. So I'm going to choose this one as well. I'm sending both and hit on submit. We're going to get this error and display this right here, hopefully. Apologies, this section took much more time than I anticipated, but we struggled a little bit as well. So the total size of all files must not exceed to 1 gigabyte. This is exactly what I expected. Awesome, cool. But we want other error as well. If I remove this small file and leave the large one, I know that this is the large one because that was the right one. It was older uploaded. I'm going to hit submit. When we hit the submit, by the way, this should be gone. It was uploaded. Okay, let me choose this 500 megabyte or 800 megabyte file. Probably it was the other one. Sure. We're going to also reset these form errors, but first let's hit the submit and see what we're going to get from the backend. And let's search for reset modal, and I'm going to set this value equals an empty object for the form errors. Okay, what did we get? Okay, I have to do this again. This is it. You know what? I'm going to just reduce this 500 size into 500 megabyte into 500 kilobyte. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to choose any file which is more than, let's choose this one. It's more than definitely 500 kilobytes, so I'm going to hit on submit, and it is saved. Why is it saved? Okay, it passed that part, that validation part. It was smaller. Okay, good. But for each attachment, here we have this max. And also ChatGPT calculated properly that this means 500 megabyte. I'm going to search for max. So this is different max. This is just length. I want this max on files. What if I just write the same thing? Instead of types, we're going to just write max. We cannot do this. Okay, let's bind this max here. But we know that it is going to apply a different rule. And this is 500 kilobyte. Let's remove this max from here. Hopefully it's going to work, and we're going to see this error. That should be 500 kilobyte for now, but we're going to change this. Let's choose small file. Click on submit. It is uploaded. Why is it uploaded? Why is it uploaded? Let's see. I'm going to make dump and die, and I'm going to print value. Let's choose this file. it is 29 million bytes. So if this part works, it should not, the validation should not be passed. Why it is passed? Inside max we have the size, indicated the upload file should be more than the given number of kilobytes. Wait. Do we give here kilobytes? Hold on. If we just provide 500 here, this should mean kilobyte, right? Hit and submit. Wait, let's remove this. Hit and submit. Now look at this. Each attachment must not exceed 500 kilobyte. I'm going to choose another one which is slightly more than 500 kilobyte. Let's go into pictures and let's go into details. 500 kilobyte. This is 800 kilobyte. Let's choose this one. That error should be gone. But we get the same error file. Okay, now it makes, now everything gets very, very clear for me personally, and for me it's definitely worth spending this time. Now probably you have already skipped the video and just close the one, but if you're here, I hope it was worth for you as well. So now this max right here accepts kilobytes, so we can even undo this part and have a separate rule, but it really doesn't matter. Separate rule right here, I mean, but it really doesn't matter. Okay, so this types method does the MIMEs, does the MIME types of validation. This max does the max file size validation. So we can have this separately, or we can have this in a single line. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to do it separately because that's probably more easy to also comment out. But this actually means 500 megabytes. Okay, previously we had like this, which means 500 gigabytes, because we pass right here number of kilobytes. This is 1 megabyte, this is 1 gigabyte, this is 500 gigabyte. This is what we previously had incorrectly implemented. Right now, if I have 500 megabyte, and I'm just going to write 500 times 1024, which means 500 megabyte. Okay, and we should probably change this into 1024 as well, because this is more correct. And yeah, this is it. I think this is all. This explains everything. If I choose, now I'm going to choose this 500 megabyte or more than 500 megabyte video and just test this. Click open, click submit. It's going to take some time. We see that each attachment must not exceed to 500 megabyte, and that's correct. However, we can, it's funny, I spent so much time implementing this properly, and basically I did this for my knowledge, but right now I think that if we have the total restriction of 1 gigabyte, okay, why do we need to restrict each individual file? If I want to upload one zip file or one video file, which is going to be 1 gigabyte and nothing else, I should be able to do this. So I'm going to comment out this part. We can comment out this as well, or maybe we can completely remove this. It's now very clear to me and probably for you as well. I can remove this comment as well. And we have the total limitation of on all the files, what we have here. Basically, this is also for a single upload. for a single upload. Like if we edit an existing post, let's say that we upload 1 GB file, submit that, it was uploaded. Then we can edit the same post and upload another 1 GB file. This is also good. So that totally on the post we can have 2 GB, the 2 file, totally 2 GB, and we can even do multiple uploads to upload even larger files. Okay, this is awesome. Now if I resubmit this again, and on submit probably I should clear all the validation errors, which I will do. Right now this is going to be uploaded. This will be uploaded for sure. Yes. Okay. And a small improvement. Let me actually reduce this size to some smaller value because I want to test something. I'm going to choose any file. Let's choose smaller file. Click on submit. We are going to get some error right here, but I want different error. I want error on each file. So let me choose exe file, and I'm going to click on submit. We see there's invalid file type for attachments. This is awesome. This is good. And if I, let's say that if I delete this, why do I see this? There's some error. No. Why do I see this? Files must be one of the following extensions. Let's go in the post model. Show extensions text. Okay. Show extensions text needs to be set when uploaded files okay, this is interesting. So we display these on file choose, but this is a small thing which we can improve. We display this on file choose. Let's say that I have chosen one image, which is good, and then one, let's sort this by modified date, then exe file. Okay, we see this, but then if I go and delete this exe file, this stays here, which should be gone, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is make this show extensions text computed property. We have this used in multiple places, and I'm going to make this computed, which makes more sense. Let's scroll down below. Here we have the computed properties. Const show extension text, that's going to be computed property, and we are going to calculate and return what's going to be the show extension text value. I'm going to remove this from ref. I'm going to find another place where I am using this. Here it is. So I can remove this from here. Well, I need this part. Now I'm going to cut this part. Okay, we have this attachment files, which has inside their object, and the object has file. So what I will do is just iterate over attachment files for let my file of attachment files dot value. This is an array, so I iterate over all of them, and then let's paste the code. Then I'm going to get the file, and the file will be const file equals my file dot file. Okay, and if the extension doesn't exist in attachment extensions, immediately I'm gonna return true. Otherwise, I'm gonna return false. And now, because this is calculated property, computed property, sorry. So if I choose an image, We don't see that. Then if I go ahead and choose exe file, then we see that. Then if I go and delete the exe file, this is gone. Okay, then if I choose two exe files, we see this. I delete one, but this still stays. Okay, I delete the second, then this is gone. So this is more correct to be computed property. And I think that's going to be basically it. Yeah, I'm thinking right now if I missed anything, but I think I didn't miss anything. So we did many small things in this section. And finally, we have the result what I wanted. We have this proper validation. So we have the total 1 GB. Let's undo this. So totally we allow 1 GB of uploads, and we have the attachments here modified. Then we remove the size for the attachment. We customize the error message for the file and for the MIME as well. And on the front end side, we made this improvement as well. This is good.